Maslow's hierarchy of needs describe one of the most important necessities to life, food. And without food, we would not survive. Without most of the insects you see today, our ability to fulfill this necessity would allow humanity to slowly vanish. Now, could you imagine a point in life when all of our natural food sources were to suddenly start fading away? You may not know it now, but today I will be discussing the importance of the bee population around the world. Our everyday food sources come from a natural beginning point from which majority are pollinated by nature's workers, insects. I will carefully guide you through facts purely based on the leading insect pollinator, which is bees. I will also touch bases with the different species found today, the roles each of the species play, pollination to include how it works, and the possibility of extinction, including the effects on nature and humanity. Now, our future existence truly relies on these tiny workers to complete their duty for nature. Every living being has an important role to play for the functions of life to fall together smoothly, piece by piece. Although there are many species of bee, they all serve an important role to the agriculture around the globe. To start, there's over 3,500 different species of bee. Some well-known species that you may recognize include the digger, honey, leafcutter, carpenter, mason, squash, and sweat bees. The roles they play in nature is extremely important. They pollinate nature's environment, keeping the plants rich and plentiful. With so many different species of bee, they all give one great advantage around the world that is unknown to them: pollination. What is pollination? As you can see in the picture, a bee will travel from flower to flower looking for nectar. They transfer pollen, enabling fertilization of the plant life during this process. And without this, the plants would resort to relying on the wind or other animals for pollination. Some facts. The U.S. Department of Agriculture has estimated that 1/3 of the human diet is thanks to pollinator insects. That's 1/3. And 80% is because of the honeybee. Another study conducted by Cornell University in 2000 stated that the U.S.'s agriculture value from the bee population was over $14.6 billion. That is a huge number. The environment takes a huge hit on this. The crops and the vegetation. This is enabling us to have plenty of a natural food source that we enjoy every single day. Our food source heavily relies on the bees to pollinate, and if pollination were to suddenly cease, our lives could take a turn for the worse. Extinction. Some reasons for extinction. Pesticides is a main factor to slowly diminishing the bee population today. Also, many bees make their nests underground, if you don't know this, and as humans destroy, clear, and build through the nature, the bees lose their homes and their ability to procreate also goes away. Effects on nature. You need to think of flora and fauna. As you can see in this picture, the difference between the green and the brown. The plants and the crops will diminish. Nature turns this ugly shade of brown as the plants die, and our primary food source for humans will take an enormous turn. The effects on humanity. No pollination means minimal natural food sources, spawning a vicious cycle throughout the world. Also, poor nutrition could mean to eventual death. It is easy to see how important the bee population is to the world and to our humanity. Protecting the small insects first should be a daily routine of ours. Now, today I have shared with you the facts on the bee pollination. I have also shared the different species of bee and their important role toward pollination and the environment. Lastly, I have expressed the reasons behind extinction and the effects that bee extinction will have on nature and humanity itself. If it wasn't for the bees, pollination would be minimal, and this can lead to a failing cropland, a decrease in economic growth through all cultures around the globe. The bee is simple, yet a very significant species to nature. There are many ways that you can help to stop the extinction of the bee species. Many of the solutions are very simple and take little effort on your part. Education on this fact is the first step into making a difference. Thank you.